Everyone. So it's all come down to this. It is referendum week. Referendum day will be upon us soon on Friday. I'm certainly voting yes, and I just have a couple of points I'd like to make about why I'm voting yes. Maybe directed probably at the undecided people or maybe younger men. These points are certainly not my original points. They've been made by many people and far more eloquently. The first point I think is in relation to there. There's been some talk of men, possibly younger men, in particular, kind of stepping back from the debate from the referendum. They're they're saying that this is a women's issue. What's this got to do with me? It's something we should just leave up to the woman. And this is interesting because in a roundabout way, for a man to say that I shouldn't vote on this, I shouldn't have a say. That man is actually saying, I'm leaving this up to the women. That it's for women. It's for women to choose. And this is kind of a roundabout way of that man declaring that he is pro-choice by saying I'll step back, I'll leave it for the women. That's that's pretty much saying I'm pro-choice. And seeing as how you are pro-choice by taking that stance, you need to we need you to help to make Ireland a pro-choice country. And the only way we can do that is by getting everybody, by getting all of the young men, by mobilizing everybody, getting everyone out to the polls, and get the young men to vote yes and to leave this decision in the hands of women and girls who know best, who would, they know better than anyone else what they need to do with their bodies. The second point that I'd like to make is what's my second point? It is here. Yes, I think if you're undecided, it's interesting to look at who's for repealing, who's voting yes to repeal, and who's voting no against repealing. Now, I think who's voting against it, like the famous movie said, round up the usual suspects. I think in this case it's singular. It's one primary suspect. It's the church. Now, I'm pretty biased on this issue, so it's handy that there's lots of objective evidence. There's volumes. You could fill a whole encyclopedia with the list of scandals that the church has been embroiled in. The scandals they're still embroiled in. They've been implicated in so many things. They've been proven guilty on most, if not all, counts. And this is an organization that is sticking its oar in. They want to continue to have this influence over women. Now historically, they just haven't got a good record overall, but particularly against women and girls with the oppressive the oppressive atmosphere they have created. So if you're thinking you can trust the church and that they're trustworthy, then okay, that's fair enough if you trust them. But the evidence is there's so much of it, and we just want to make sure that the church no longer rules with an iron fist or rules in any kind of way at all, because the church has no place in this debate whatsoever. Again, it's a women's issue, and the church simply hasn't got a clue when it comes to women's issues. So that's just two reasons. I'm voting yes. We need to let it up to the women and girls of this country. It is their bodies. It's their choice. It's kind of I can't put myself in a woman's shoes really, but just even for me to imagine it just for a second of how terrifying a crisis pregnancy must be, I can't actually kind of get myself into that mindset. It must be so terrifying, and we need to support our women through these crises, and to leave the choice in their hands. There is nowhere else this choice should be. So I'm voting yes on Friday, and I really hope all of you do too. And yeah, let's do this. Let's change our country. Let's put this in women's hands. Oh yes.